Alright, Shalom brothers, welcome to Maccabees TV 2. I got my brother Awanyasap representing,
G.O.C.C.
and I got my brother Malaak representing.
A.O.C.
Right, so these brothers are here, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Awanyasap. How long you been in the truth?
Oh man, it's been a long time coming for me to say, because the A.O.C was preparing me before I even essentially woke up. I was seeking different paths, different ways of knowledge, and then you can say about 4 years ago, you know, he really kind of opened my eyes, and I started noticing that we Israel, and just doing different history, different research. I didn't come into it through the scriptures. I actually came into it through a historical perspective, learning that Native Americans were speaking Hebrew, and once I saw archaeological evidence and things like that, I was like, whoa, my next path was basically the Bible. So then, once I got to the Bible, it was a wrap from there. All praise to the Most High, he's kept my way.
According to this world,
Right.
what would your nationality be? What would you be?
I would be a so-called Puerto Rican.
So you'd be a so-called Puerto Rican. Okay, beautiful, man.
Right.
All right, so, you know, in the so-called conscious circuit, as I was speaking to my brothers earlier, there's not a lot of love shown to our so-called Puerto Rican, Dominican, so forth and so forth brothers. They're talked about as though they're separate. They're almost borderline classified with the so-called white man, as though they're enemies of black people, not understanding that they suffer from the same trauma that we as African Americans, so-called African Americans, that we struggle from, and you were brainwashed the same way we were brainwashed. So a lot of people don't understand the psychological damage that was done to the people, and they deal with it from an emotional standpoint. Oh, Puerto Ricans don't like blacks. It's not because they don't like black people, it's because they've been programmed by their oppressors to think a certain way. So you want to speak on that real quick?
It's actually, as you mentioned earlier, it's a form of colonization. Just as the black man was colonized, Latinos, we suffered a particular colonization as well. And because our so-called masters allowed us a little bit more leverage in the sense that we was able to mix with the white man and have different class systems. You had mestizos, you had criollos, you know, you had different mulattoes, you know, you had different classifications. So lighter was essentially seen as better. So we kind of internalized our colonization throughout the years and was taught more so to hate the darker skinned brother as opposed to the man that was actually over that whole paradigm. You know, whereas, and you could even see that in African American history too, where you had dark skin versus light skin. I mean, that's part of the Willie Lynch syndrome.
Beautiful.
You know, and when you look at where the Willie Lynch syndrome came from, it came from the West Indies, which was really a derivative of the Caribbean and the South American nations, because you had a lot of Benjamites in those areas as well. So the whole concept is not foreign to us either, and I think brothers got to have more understanding, more meekness, and be a little more patient with their Latino brothers and sisters that's coming along, because unlike you guys, we colonized twice. So we got to wake up out of the colonization of the Spaniard, then we got to come here and get recolonized by the white man, right? Another form of the white man, the American white man, get recolonized by him, and then come up out of that. So you got brothers like myself and Malaak. We second and third generation Puerto Ricans. We've been in New York City. My grandmother came to New York City in 1945 on a boat. Worked in the factories. I'm 2 generations removed from Puerto Ricans. So not only do I had my first language is English, but I had to learn Spanish to communicate with my grandmother. So it's like we twice colonized. So brothers got to understand it's all a process. You got to be patient.
Beautiful, beautiful. So brother Malaak, what's going on, brother? You want to add on to what the brother said?
Yeah, man. He's on point, man. Like, we've gone through double the colonization. First through the Spaniards, and then due to the Spanish-American War, when the U.S., you know, stopped the rule of Spain over Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico thought, okay, they're gonna liberate us. No, just a new oppressor. In a sense, now we oppress under them. We learned their curriculum. Understand? It's funny how they kicked out Spain from Puerto Rico and claimed to be our liberators, but at the same time, the only history that you learn out there in Puerto Rico is American history. English is damn near, excuse my language, the first language out there in Puerto Rico now. Everybody out there speaks English now. You understand? You're not allowed to vote for the president of the United States out there in Puerto Rico, but yet you are allowed to fight in the American army and die for that president that you're not allowed to vote for. So we've gone through double the colonization.
That's beautiful.
You know, and so I think it's high time for our people to just come together, man. Blacks and Hispanics, we all one in the same struggle. We all in the ghetto struggling together. Blacks, so-called blacks and Hispanics have poor health, no health care. We both getting shot down and harassed by the police.
They just don't televise the Latino killings.
Yeah, of course.
But it's happening.
Exactly. You know, they don't televise it. So we both living under the same condition, no health care. A lot of our parents or grandparents will raise public assistance, so on and so forth. We both live through the same conditions. You understand? So how can anybody say we're not the same people? You understand? The same blood runs through our veins, but when you're dealing with white supremacy, you got to understand that the tactic is conquer and divide. And it's been conquer and divide from the very beginning. You understand? So they give us different titles. Puerto Rican, Dominican, Hispanics, but yet we're the same people. And I think one of the main problems that separates us is the language. Just because one group first language is Spanish and the other group's main language is English, just because of the language, a lot of our people think, oh, we're different, we're not the same people, just because of the language. And because of our cultures are a bit different, but yet at the same time, there's more similarities than there are differences. You understand?
Right. And if you check it out, and I know you brothers could expound on this a little bit better than me, even within the colonization process, there is division even amongst the Latin tribes, because you have the Mexicans, you have the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans at the time don't get along. Don't mistake a Puerto Rican for a Dominican, because they might shoot you down, whatever. We laugh, but it's really not funny, because we have this animosity, this hatred, and when you really try to ask somebody what is the root cause of it, they can't give you a cohesive answer. It's always something trivial or stupid. Oh, I don't like Puerto Rican men are rude. The way they're rude or whatever like that. As far as some of the Dominican women might say, I don't like the way that they talk to us. They're perverted, so forth and so on. It's just generalizations and stupidity. So I'm glad to see. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Speaking on that divide, I always found it interesting growing up how Dominicans, so-called Dominicans, is a tribe of Syria, will celebrate their Day of Independence the day that they was liberated from Haiti, not the day that they was liberated from Spain. See, now understanding that Haiti was instrumental in them being liberated from Spain. So it's like we go back and forth, and a lot of our people are blind to this fact. Because I speak to Dominicans, and I'm like, yo, brother, you know that's not, you celebrating your independence from Haiti, not from Spain. What did Haiti do to you? Haiti gave you more land. Haiti gave you one government under them to share with them. Haiti removed slavery from the island. So, and what are they doing now? Now you got an ethnic cleansing that's going on throughout the country. But when you look at the scriptures now, all of these things prophesied. That hate and that anger will wax strong between Levi and Simeon.
Right.
See, but and a lot of it is due to, like the scripture says, Hosea, we destroy for lack of knowledge. So it's important that we wake up to these things, man, and not to dwell on the hate, but, Brother Malaak and myself, through our elders and everything like that, we're going to be putting together an event coming up to really kind of showcase and capture the plight and the struggle of the Latino people of so-called Northern Kingdom, and bring that together and really kind of give people no way out, so to speak, as far as accepting the diaspora of Israel.
Beautiful. That is much needed. Go ahead, bro.
As the scripture says, it says Judah and Ephraim were pressed together.
Exactly.
Judah speaking about the southern kingdom, and Ephraim, Ephraim, so-called what it was, and the rest of the northern kingdom were pressed together. You understand? So what we're going to show in this upcoming event is that we're both one and the same people through nationality, through biblical prophecy, and through our common struggle. You understand? Because we have to bridge that gap. Us so-called Israelites, we've been bridging the gap for years now, but yet it's obvious and it's plain to see that there's still a gap there. That connection has not fully set in yet. So this presentation is going to be to show, man, and it's not just, this presentation is not just Israelite centered. You understand? You don't have to be just a Hebrew Israelite to come to this upcoming event. If you're a so-called Latino Muslim, a so-called Latino 5%er, or so-called Latino Zulu, you understand? Christian, whatever, come through, because what we're doing is that, and when you're dealing with all these movements and all these organizations, you find out that, contrary to popular belief, the Latinos were always in the beginning of all of these movements. It's not put in the forefront, you understand? But when this event comes forth, we're going to show that we've been there from the beginning, hand in hand, you know, with our brothers.
Beautiful. And that's all well and good. You know what I'm saying? You're very intelligent, Brother Malaak. But there's one problem with, you Israelites, specifically you. And the problem that we have with you is you guys are real spooky, man. You believe in some unseen creator when, in fact, man comes from a common ancestor. We all come from a common ancestor, which is the orangutan. So when are you Israelites going to acknowledge science? You guys don't deal with science. You guys don't deal with evolution. So, explain that. Explain that to the people, man. Do we have a common ancestor with primates?
The common ancestor that we have is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? Those are the three common ancestors. You understand? Well, the main one that we call the patriarchs. You understand? And the main source, the main common ancestor is the Most High. You understand? You want to say that's spooky or whatever, but this is what you gotta understand. Our scriptures, our Bible, our Torah deals with science. It is science. Isaiah 40:22. It lets you know that the world is round. And this is at a time when everybody in Europe thought that the earth was flat. All they had to do was open up the scriptures to find out, no, our ancestors been wrote down in the scriptures, the circumference and the shape of the earth. So and that's just one scripture. There's plenty of science within the scriptures. And us Israelites deal with that, with the science within the scriptures and outside of the scriptures, which only corroborate these scriptures. Exactly. You understand? And don't believe for 1 second that Israelites cannot debunk, demolish, and destroy this orangutan theory, evolution theory. Because when you're dealing with evolution, you got to keep this in mind. Before you deal with organic evolution, you have to deal with stellar evolution. Evolution of the stars, the planets, the universe, so on and so forth. Then you have to deal with organic evolution, then microevolution, and then macroevolution. So there's steps to this. So you can't skip all those steps and jump to the orangutan. No. Explain from the very beginning. So you best believe Israelites is on the game and we're studying.
Right. Explain the evolution of the galaxy. Explain the evolution of gravity. I want to know about those things because everybody talks about the evolution of so-called life, but you're only dealing with one dimension of evolution. So let's talk about evolution in its entirety. And also, one thing to add on to my brother Malaak, when you look into the scriptures, you read the book of 2nd Esdras, it actually disproves evolution. It actually shows that the earth is actually devolving. It's not evolving, it's devolving. It says that the earth is like a mother with child. And can an old woman give birth to a child? Her womb is shut up at some point. So when you read in the book of 2nd Esdras, it tells you that the earth has actually gotten weaker. It says that the plants have gotten smaller, man has got weaker, they have gotten smaller. So we're actually degenerating. When you read about the stories of our ancestors and how they were slewing lions and capturing, bears and outrunning deers and things of that nature, brothers ain't doing that nowadays. We have but a remnant of the strength that we once attained when we was back in our true sense, our true state, our true sense of royalty. And those things are not going to be restored to the earth until Christ comes back. All praise to the Most High. Once the new kingdom comes, then these things will be restored and the earth will be flourished again. But people don't want to hear that because they call it so-called spookism. But I think it's spooky that you guys believe in a racist doctrine. Because when you look at Charles Darwin and the people that and the lineage that he came from, they actually use evolution for the generative claims against black people, showing that we had smaller brains, showing that we was 3/5 of a man. Science at one point proved all of these things. But see, when you look at the true science, it all goes back to the scriptures. When you look at, a brother once told me science follows politics. You see, and that's deep because when you look at the political structure in this country and what we've come from over the past 200 years, you'll see that This science evolves just like their theories. Their politics evolves just like their theories. So white supremacy is evolved because it's no longer what it was. They no longer, I mean, it's in fact coming back now, and some people will argue that it never vanished. Obviously it hasn't, but they're not lynching brothers wholesale like they once was. It's not as much in the forefront. It's not as overt as it once was. It's covert now. So in the same wise that white supremacy has evolved, so has your so-called theories to evolve to try and debunk the scriptures. Because every time you got a new generation of brothers coming around disproving whatever it is that antagonists are saying. You know, so we got to look at the truth, man. Let's look at the facts.
Beautiful, brothers. Go
I
ahead.
just want to add on real quick. I'm going to be real quick. Also, two quick things. If the scriptures were not such a threat to society, why is it that we're not allowed to talk about scriptures or who they call Jesus, any biblical scripture, period, within the school system? But yet in the science books, they freely teach evolution. You understand? It's supposed to be a free country. Everybody's supposed to have their own frame of thought that they choose to have. But yet within the school system, they force evolution on you. And the science within these science textbooks in high school and in junior high schools, elementary school is science doctrine that's long been debunked and disproven. You understand? And here's what's funny.
They teach theories.
Exactly.
Which is just number damn religion.
It's called evolution, evolutionary what? Theory.
Big Bang.
Theory. It's a theory. It's not a proven fact. When you're dealing with science, when you're dealing with science, when you're dealing with the very word science, you have to deal with an observable fact. An observable fact proven by evidences, right? So now, when you're dealing with evolution, it's called the evolutionary theory. One organic being evolving into a completely different being has never been observed in a natural environment or in a controlled scientific environment. So they call us religious for reading the Bible, but yet these guys are more religious than we are. Because keep this in mind, for those evolutionary theorists, they're more religious than we are. Because what they believe in has never been proven by science, period.
Yes.
They believe in theory.
Yes.
They say our Bible's theory. Well, according to scientific data and the facts that are out there for those who choose to see, what they deal with is theory. It's not fact. But they still believe it and teach it. So that's religion in itself. You understand? So they're the more religious people. So that's what I have to say on that.
Right, man. So we're going to end it with that because I know you brothers have to get back in. I know you're about to do a presentation with Awanyasap and Malaak. Any closing words for Maccabees TV 2?
Closing words, man. I just want to say, you know, a lot of this stuff developed from the debate that we had back in February, and to see the love and all the positivity that's come from that debate, you can see that we standing up, man. We feeling good. The Hebrew brothers are coming together. We got every camp coming together, showing love. You know, I've met more brothers in the past few months than I have when I was in the truth prior to that. So we really did accomplish what it was that we set forth to do, man. And we still trucking along. We're going ahead. We're moving full steam ahead. Nothing's going to stop us. We got the Spirit of the Most High upon us. We got a lot more events to come. Stay tuned. Maccabees TV is the truth. We don't lie. And we give impartial and unbiased information. And you got to tune in for that. And we got more stuff to come. Stand up Israel, stand up Northern Kingdom, Latinos, estamos aquí. You know what I mean? So we're going to be representing for y'all. And all praise to the Most High, man. Judah and Ephraim, one stick.
Beautiful. All right, shalom, brothers.
Shalom.